So we are now recording the January 31st, 2020 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First.
Happy last day of January.
Absolutely.
Hope you guys have your 1099s done.
Champagne.
This month has gone fast. Does it seem like the months are going faster?
Oh, everything's going faster to me.
Yeah.
Hours to week.
So Mary and I are still with our snow backgrounds. I have been not having snow at all this year, and I'm perfectly happy with that.
So I told my sister-in-law last night, we got the carpet cleaned yesterday, and Mark said, yeah, we should probably turn the heat on a little bit to speed that up. And she goes, what do you mean you don't have your heat on? And I'm like, so a little foreign to her, but you know, the house, if it gets chilled, just bump it on a little bit, takes the chill off, and that's fine.
Yep.
I have the doors and windows open today. The temperature here is in the 80s.
And our trees
Today and tomorrow, it's going to drop.
Are you confused? Ours are
So
like
it's a great year for utilities.
Yes, utility bills are down for us on the East Coast. Not everybody.
It just depends.
On the West Coast, man, well, the ski areas are getting lots of snow.
Well, that's
good.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to ski resorts this weekend, so they better be good.
Who's that?
That's Ernest Cook. He's in Boise, Idaho. Or where are you now, Ernest?
I'm in Boise. I'm at home. But, you know, in about an hour, I'm supposed to be in the car, so.
He's
And
hiding
Shannon,
out.
how is it where you're at?
52 degrees today.
It snowed overnight.
It is way warmer than it's normal.
It's weird. Boise's been like neck and neck with Savannah all year. It's like weird.
Shannon, can you up your microphone? It's hard to hear you.
Don't know.
There we go.
That's
better.
loud.
Much
That's good.
better.
I didn't do anything.
Well, you spoke a little louder than the last time.
Oh, I don't think.
Mary's with us, but she is muted. She has a roof going on as we speak. So she's saving us from the banging.
I think they're gone. I'm very happy now.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it.
I think the coast is clear.
Right.
Till we start hearing some banging.
Tomorrow. If you want to be here tomorrow morning.
On Saturday.
Oh, no, that's right. That's right. Nothing till Monday. Yeah.
Nothing until Monday. 2 days of reprieve.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, a couple announcements. Tiffany, we're going to start with Canada since you're here now and you can leave early. I mean,
Thank you.
QB Live coming to Canada.
Yes, well, they sent out an email blast to pro advisors to let them know that there's a marketing initiative going out to see if there's interest.
That was nice of them to let you know
Yes,
if there's interest.
if there's interest, but it's only for those who are not connected to an accountant.
Yeah, we were that.
We
We're all
know.
been down that road before, and we know exactly how that works.
Yeah, we learned from you.
Does anyone know anyone who is using it? Like a client or somebody that you know is using it?
No, I was talking to Linda Artisani. We did a live video on the day that they announced it here in Canada. And she was saying that she knows somebody who works for Intuit on QB Live, but she's never actually spoken to somebody who's a customer of the service. That would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
Well, I spoke on one of the Facebook groups with someone, or was reading posts, a man who had somebody come to him. He was a pro advisor, and somebody who was using a QuickBooks Live came to him, and he reviewed her and looked at, and he pointed out a few things that weren't quite right. and talked to her, and it turns out she signed on as his client and is
Really?
dropping the QuickBooks Live. So
Huh.
he was saying that it's quite possible that just by upping what you're offering a little bit more than what QuickBooks Live offers, you can actually start adding clients. So
And that's what I'm actually hearing too, that the pro advisors that have been pro advisors for a while and have experience and are doing more than just the data entry, that are actually giving reports and analyzing the data, that they're bringing on more clients because of QB Live and their people's experience with them. So
I still don't grasp how it's actually going to work. I mean, I don't know if you guys discussed it in past.
a little,
There's a confusion over the definition of bookkeeping.
right.
Because if you really push them on it, they're assisting or giving advice. They're not doing your bookkeeping.
And I think, is it also that they set them up or something like that? That's the initial thing, or, and then,
I think so, but I don't believe that there's like cleanup.
Right.
yeah. And I
It's
can't.
like a simple thing.
And what if they have to get in all the transactions from, let's say, 6 months or so worth of statements? I mean, they wouldn't be doing that either, right?
I don't know.
So we know.
I know it's very, very simple cash basis companies. There's
Why doesn't one of us
any
go
complexity
undercover?
to them at all.
Somebody should go undercover and pose as it. You want me to do it?
Oh, I think, yes, yes, I like that.
Yeah,
And you can report back, you can wear a disguise.
You don't have to worry about wearing a disguise. They don't ever see the client. The client
Oh,
only sees
that's
the pro
right.
advisor.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that's right.
my husband's company, who's on one of my 5 for 25, so maybe we can sign him up.
there you go.
That's the annoying part, though, is that they say they don't go after ones that are attached to a bookkeeper, but you can't be a 5 for 25 company file without being attached to a pro advisor.
Right.
Well, that's true.
So, and I know they're promoting to everybody that's on my 5 for 25.
They're promoting to everyone, period.
And I know how much they're promoting because I will set up, you know, if I have especially the good sized clients, I'll have an email address that I use for them, because I'll say, you know, if you sign up for anything, you should use a email address that lives past turnover and, you know, admin at whatever. And then it's forwarded to me as long as I'm their accountant. But I use that one email address, and I use that for the Intuit account and everything. So I get all the junk mail. I know exactly what the clients are getting. And it's just,
They're getting everything.
Even
Yep.
if it's opt out
Well,
of-
and then it's also in product, right? So that's the stuff that you don't even know.
Absolutely in product, yeah. So it is what it is.
Yep, it is what it is. We just have to up our game.
It is, you know, you don't want to just stay upset with Intuit all the time. But speaking of which, ACH, I guess I must have been grandfathered in with 50 cents per payment.
Yeah.
So subject change, we're talking about, wait a minute, talking about ACH payments now. This
Right.
is
Desktop.
from Shannon.
Not
We talked
payments,
a little bit
receipts.
about that.
Receipts. So I have an ACH agreement with my clients. I take their annual contract, divide by 12. I draft it on the 3rd. So I
Right.
have an ACH agreement, and it's been 50 cents. You know,
No,
it's worth me not going to the bank. But
think
so I've been paying about $10 a month, and it just went to $60 a month. So instead of 50 cents, it's now $3 a piece. So then everybody's like, oh, well, that's only whatever percent if it were a credit card. But it's not the point. That is one heck of an increase.
Yes, it is.
So, and I only have, 20 that I do. I can't imagine being a larger firm. But so now it's like, well, what are our options? I don't care if it interfaces with the accounting. I can memorize a deposit. I don't even need to run it through AR since I drafted in the same month as the
Mhm.
revenue. So, so I'm hearing Veeam, WePay, Biller Genie,
WayPay, not WePay.
what is it?
WayPay.
Way.
And I'm not sure if, Way. I'm not sure if it's in the US. It's just been bought by Royal Bank of Canada.
Uh-huh.
And so there will be deeper integrations with the banking system.
Got it.
Got to be something out there. Well, and then a lot of them, like I even just called my bank, and
Those are
Skyline, which I do a lot of business with, and they're like, "Oh, it's only 55 cents." I'm like, "Great! Oh, but it's $25 a month." I'm like,
Oh yeah.
"That's still cheaper than Intuit."
$3.
Still
Yeah.
cheaper than Intuit, so I don't know. But well, so what's left in their product lineup that hasn't that they have yet to
To increase?
Well,
did the payroll, ACH, the software,
desktop has not gone up much.
desktop. I'm waiting for them to go.
Software. It's going up a little, but not much.
Well, pretty soon they're gonna only have desktop be a plus subscription.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
waiting
but-
on. That's got to be
but-
coming.
For right now, it's not. So
Right. So I figure if we just, if everybody just went to 2020, we're good for a couple years.
we're good for 3. Yep. That's
That
I'm
gets
getting
closer
all
to
my
retirement.
people.
I hate to measure everything by closer to retirement, but
Well, the other thing that I'm not real happy about, because I love QBox, but if QuickBooks goes to subscription only, I think I may actually keep people on QuickBooks, the last version of QuickBooks Desktop there is with QBox, because if I have clients that have slow internet, they're not going to be able to run a subscription by being on the internet. They're going to enter something, and then they're going to have to knit something.
no, that's not what the
No,
subscription is.
no,
The
I don't think-
subscription tests your license, and they don't test it nonstop.
So you
It's
still
enterprise.
have the
Oh, so-
software,
And they just upgrade you every year.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Which is
Well,
what we are in
actually-
Canada already.
Well, they don't do that though, because I have people, and I couldn't take them off once you're on the subscription, you can't take them off. If you take them off, then you have to go buy the other one to put them back on it.
Well, and they have your data. Their data is locked differently.
Yeah. So, but all they do is send you like one email reminding you the new version's available. And all the people that I've used, they never load it until 3 years down the road. So they're paying for it, but not doing it.
Oh, really?
That's
Like my enterprises, I always tell them to wait a couple months.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, let's just survive W-2s first.
And I've
I
had
spend way more time taking people off of the Plus product and putting them back on the standard product. So they'll go buy Plus and then pay for
You don't bark. What's your
Patty's
problem?
home.
That scared me. Sorry.
Mark's home. Go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry.
And
Sorry.
Brandon, you're quiet again.
What happened to my
I
quiet
know.
dogs?
That's weird.
Speak up.
I didn't change anything.
That's all right.
Shannon's statement here. I haven't changed anything.
didn't.
Your fault.
Maybe you're just quiet compared to Sarah.
My wife and kids do not say I'm quiet. No, I've spent more time taking people off the Plus product, putting them back on the regular QuickBooks product, Pro or Premier.
Got it.
Way more.
You're able to do that. They don't like landlock the data in any way.
No, it's still.
You can back it up and restore it.
The only difference is you pay by the month. That you have the backup services that Intuit offers online that nobody takes advantage of anyway, and you get an update every year. I tell my clients to wait every 3 years and buy a new copy then.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Even though I'd much rather sell them a new product every year because I would.
Yeah, true, but
Sure.
I do what's in the best interest of the customer, and that just makes more sense.
yeah.
Well, and it seems to me, Brandon, there might be occasional years when there's some upgrade in QuickBooks Desktop that might make a big difference for a particular client, and then you would tell them to upgrade that year.
Yeah,
For the
it's
most
something
part.
they'd really like.
Yeah. So,
So I don't know. It's like every year I go, is this the year they're going to force the subscription? But 2020 wasn't it. So
oh, did I, Woodard didn't do this QuickBooks Desktop dead yet. He moved it again,
no, I
right?
moved it to February 6th or something.
Yeah, because I really wanted to hear what he has to say. But I still think there's going to be ways we can get around this. So.
I do too. I'm with you, Linda. I think he's done that webinar before, though, actually, like a year ago.
Well, that's all right. It's a good one to do. But he's got new experts coming in, and that's why he last minute switched it up.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, the guy who was going to present with it, and I don't know whether it's somebody who maybe has left into it. Or I don't know. Maybe he's got a spy there himself.
Well, now that Mark is here,
Yeah.
we can talk Chrome 80.
Ernest?
Well,
Mark.
hasn't
Oh,
been-
that's Mark. Hey, Mark.
I haven't really looked into it.
He hadn't even looked into it.
he
Oh,
hasn't looked
Mark.
into it? Yes, Mark.
Oh,
Job, dude.
Hi, Mark.
Hey,
there you go. I'm going like, where's Mark? Where's Mark?
I've actually been playing.
Like, where's Waldo?
I've actually been playing with a new version of Microsoft Edge.
Oh, okay.
Nice Edge.
Well, we may be headed in that direction,
That's
apparently.
right.
Yeah, 'cause
According to
it's
Ernest.
based on Chromium, so I don't know how it's would be affected by some of the stuff, but it's based on Chromium, developed by Microsoft, and it has an IE compatibility mode in it. If you need, an IE mode in it for those.
Oh, yeah.
sites that you still have to use Internet Explorer, so you probably use it for most everything.
That was very interesting that it has the Internet Explorer feature.
Yeah.
Intuit just loves that old stuff.
Government websites still require that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? The first year that I used Fire to upload my 1099, that it didn't muck up the change your password. The first year, I've always had to call. And as soon as I did it, I went, oh, I forgot to use Internet Explorer. And it went through, and I'm like, okay. What up?
Go ahead, Ernest.
I was going to say the background on that was, and there's actually two topics in one here, because the background was the article that I posted up on the group was literally straight from Microsoft, right? They're like, hey, heads up, by the way, there's going to be some browser issues out there, and you probably want to take the time to look now. So, I mean, I'm like Mark, I probably have like 3 browsers, so I'm going to be okay. But I thought, well, maybe there'll be other people that might want to actually test, go through the procedures to test the QBO product. Not me, but I'm so heads down in something else right now. There's no way I'm going to look at it. But the second topic is how refreshing it is to get from Microsoft a list of all the major changes, and oh, by the way, in a compact way that you can kind of digest them, right? And I apply that to the Intuit world, and I go, with all the changes that are being released constantly, where's that consolidated list of things that, like, by the way, XYZ is coming out next month, and you might want to look for this. I see all these posts all the time about, like, hey, guess what popped up on my thing? It's like, this should not be a guessing game with our profession. Am I wrong?
Oh, you're
No,
right.
you're
not
right.
wrong,
I
but
feel like
I
it's a guessing game every time I turn on my computer in the morning.
Well, sometimes in the middle of the night, you can tell the developers are playing out in California. Like, why did you change the name of that?
Man, I know I'm old school.
That's always the
I
case.
delivered
That's 24/7, Tiffany.
Right? Oh. It's changing so fast, Ernest, that they don't even have the time to figure out what's actually changed.
Well, and that I think that's part of the problem, right? It's like if they're changing it that fast, then clearly, people that are using it every day are not able to absorb those changes. And that's, so if there's anybody out there in Intuit land listening to this, put together a list of all the things that are changing, post it in a simple place, and by God, go do the maintenance on your website for all the features that are no longer there.
That's right. That's right.
Because that's part of the software developer's job.
But they don't get
here
doing that.
In order to get a list like that, one developing team would have to talk to the other developing team, and there'd have to be somebody overseeing and coordinating all of the developing teams. And judging by the fact that so many things conflict, they'll put out a new release and it'll conflict with something else and it'll just crash the system. And how many times does that happen? So I really don't think they talk to each other at all.
You know what? And then as a contrast, I really like ClickUp. And ClickUp has a new update every Friday night, and they update their roadmap, and they tell you things that are moving from people voting on it, going to considering it, to, in progress, to, that is so refreshing to see that company's so open with their bugs and their mistakes, and their, they release it and then they find out that things wrong, like mea culpa, and they, but when you work with a company like that, you get really spoiled. So when you work with another software company that doesn't give you
well, even that, if they gave it, who has the time to keep up with every single company's new features? And Microsoft has got great roadmaps for all their products.
Yeah,
it'd be a full-time job.
That's
well,
my problem.
Somebody's it's their full-time job. Just
my full-time job is not keeping up with all. It's
my job, but I want to go someplace and look it up.
Right. To me, software is a tool. It's a tool that helps me do my job.
Right.
And I want other people to keep up with it and tell me what's happening.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, I have to really sing the praises of Microsoft, because I had bought Microsoft Office 365 Business Premium, and I had gone through 2 or 3 other ones at the time when Woodard was saying, and I decided to use Microsoft and that. And I finally got them on the phone, and their support helped me set up everything, set up all the email. I'm now using Outlook. My email address is linda@qbqueen.com. Woo!
Oh,
And that took 2 different sessions on 2 different days, because we had to go into HostGator where my website is, and we had to.
They helped you through all that? That's awesome.
All of it. They must have spent, I would say, 8 to 10 hours with me this week. They spent Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the woman's name was Madhu, Madhu. She was in India. And I wrote her, I used every single character in the feedback thing. And the last character was like an exclamation point. I said they should give her a raise or a promotion or something, because she was so good. She was very professional. I'm not easy to work with, okay? Because I want to understand things. And she would stop and say, if I said I didn't understand her, she'd stop and listen and explain it again. And I really have a good understanding now of the admin center, signing in as an admin, signing in as a user. And I now have this Office Business Premium, Office 365 on, I don't have it on my phone yet. I have to download that, but it's on both my desktop, which has Windows 7, and my laptop with Windows 10. So
nice.
So
that means you're gonna learn. You're gonna find OneNote and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah. Now the only thing is that bothers me a little bit, and I figure I need to contact maybe Rob Smith, is this version of OneNote is not that version that he had said to use.
There's 3 versions.
You can download the 2016 version if you have the license.
Download the desktop.
Okay.
It's the best.
You should be licensed for the 2016 version. You just have to download it. It does not
Got it.
load it with the.
There's
Okay.
online. There's Office 10, the app, and then there's the desktop.
Yeah,
They're all
I know.
different.
I didn't realize that, but one of the things she did explain to me was the desktop runs on your computer, even if your computer is not connected. Let's say your internet goes down. So you can use that one that's installed. And she showed me how you install the software. Then the app that's in the cloud, but they all sync to each other because you have the same user account up to 5 devices. And I have it on basically, I'm going to put it on 3. So, she was just excellent, and she didn't mind trying to explain, because the words in the language you use, you know, it's important to me that I understand. Is it on my hard drive? Is it out in the cloud? Where is it, and how does it talk to each other? So Microsoft is excellent, and there is all kinds of free support.
Nice. Nice.
Excellent.
That's good to hear. We are almost out of time. I'd like to talk to Brandon on what's happening outside his window. It should be Mardi Gras time.
Yeah.
It is Mardi Gras. I think there's 22 parades scheduled on this street and that street. You can't see my streets. Yeah, it's almost in full swing. Saturday was the first one down on Dauphin Island, and we did go down there. I'm skipping tomorrow. And then, I got a couple of people from, where is it? Sales Tech's place.
Avalera?
What's that?
Avalera?
Yeah, Avalera.
Avalera, yeah.
I've got Jamie Dunn and Mike from their office is flying in. They're going to catch a couple of parades with me and spend some time in the office. So that'll be pretty cool. See what we can do to make some money on the sales tech side, and hopefully we can spread some love down into the ASG channel as well. So
nice.
Seeing what opportunities we've got in the in that field. So that's what that whole meeting's about. But we're going to catch some Mardi Gras season 3 or 4 days this week, so, or this month.
Nice.
Yeah,
awesome.
Well, Ash Wednesday is until 26th.
I know Ash Wednesday makes more sense. It's later this year.
I'll be there next week.
Late.
They will be here on Fat Tuesday. That's going to be like major parade day. I think there's like 6 of them that day. But
wow,
it's interesting.
The whole month.
Culture around it.
Yeah. Avalera is great to work with as well. Their technical support is amazing. So
I've dealt with Mike, and he's really great. I like Mike. Mike McKay.
Yeah. Yep. So it's Mike and Mike McKay and Jamie Dunn are coming here on that Tuesday.
Nice. Have fun. Have fun for us all, and come back and tell us about it.
I will definitely tell you about it. No, I always have fun. If I can't have fun, there's no use in getting up.
That's right. That's right. On that note, I think we're going to end for this week. We'll see you all same time, same place next week.
Rest up.
Hey, wait, you can't say goodbye without saying go Niners.
I can. Apparently you can't. See y'all later.
bye.
Who?